Now, you know on this channel that I'm not necessarily one for trends. However, there seems to be a quiet little trend sweeping its way into people's hearts and kitchens. I am talking about the charm of physical media, and what I'm seeing pop up over and over and over again is people adding little VHS televisions to their kitchen countertops. Small kitchen TVs were particularly popular in the latter half of the 20th century, fueled by the rise of colour television and the affordability of smaller second-hand TV sets in the 70s and 80s, allowing people to watch shows while cooking and making the kitchen a more connected space. However, with the rise of ubiquitous technology in the late 90s and 2000s, there was an increase in the number of television sets per household, reducing the need for a kitchen-specific TV. Plus, with the internet and introduction of streaming services, families now had new ways to access and consume media. Many people now prefer a more minimalist aesthetic in their kitchen, with technology like TVs being seen as a boxy distraction from creating a more relaxed, seamless, and social atmosphere. The thing is, I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I often advocate that we should have less screen consumption, but people really do seem to be benefiting from the nostalgia of physical media, in the sense that it can't follow you around your entire house or live in your pocket. It stays in one fixed place to keep you company whilst you cook, and then you can just turn it off. And let me just jump on the honesty train for just a moment. Choo-choo. Oh, it was awful. Because I wasn't actually planning on taking part in this trend. In spite of how much joy those videos on social media were giving me, I don't really like to hop on trends for the sake of hopping on them. I like it to be a bit more serendipitous and organic. So imagine my joy when I found this CRT with inbuilt VHS television at my grandparents' house. This little diamond is something that I just couldn't bear to part with, and I just knew it had to have a home here. And so, welcome home, buddy. So, in preparation for those cozy autumn days, I'm adding a spot of retro delight to my 1940s kitchen. Hey, my house, my rules. Oh my gosh. You're so heavy. So as I'm cleaning her up, because my girl be dusty, I am noticing that she takes up quite a lot of space on my kitchen counter. Now, you all know my kitchen is pretty small and we don't have a lot of counter space to play with. So her going in that corner where the blender is, I just can't see that working. And so what I think I'm gonna do is find a new place for her, which is just as nostalgic, but isn't going to take up all of my cooking space. Saying goodbye to about 30 years worth of grime? Oh no. Wow. Oh, that is a lot of dust. And no, I'm not gonna remove the paint stains that are on her because they're more than likely from when my nan was like decorating a particular room, and they hold memories because of that reason, so they're not going anywhere. Clean little chunk. Okay, stay with me here. I think the best place for her to go is at the top of the fridge, because that's like the least oppressive place that she could be. You know, she's kind of tucked away up there, but still able to be enjoyed. And to be honest, it's about the only place in this kitchen that she could realistically go. So I need to do a bit of rejigging up here because we've got the radio and a little box of candles and CDs and a lamp and various other bits and bobs. So I need to kind of clean everything away, make space for her, see if she plugs in, if the wire is going to be long enough, and I'd just see where we're at. Quite handy, we do have our set of steps right next to the fridge. Okay, where do I start? Well, and really I don't want her to block the clock either, because that'll just be a bit frustrating if we can't see the time. Oh, it's so dusty up here. What if she's too heavy to be on the fridge? I didn't even think of that. Because she's a chunky girl. Okay, she's on. She's on. Okay, so this is what we've been left with, and apologies, I'm a little bit sweaty because this took a lot of rejigging, basically everything. So all of the items up here have been dispersed around the kitchen, but mainly in the pantry, where we've got a kind of muddled glory thing going on in there, where it's cluttered, but it's organised clutter. And I've tried to keep the knickknacks up here down to a minimal, because my eye was already adjusting to the new height of this space, so I didn't want to go too wild with the clutter here. So we've just got a candle holder and a very Grandma coded piggy bank, and of course a new lamp as well, which I think is a lot better for this space because it's smaller, and I've just done a straight swap. This one was from my bedroom. Now you don't have to have a lamp in your kitchen, obviously. It's probably a bit old fashioned, but we love a lamp in this house, and we have a lamp in basically every single one of the rooms. So I thought we had to have one in the kitchen. And it goes again with that very nostalgic grandparent feel, and all on top of the fridge as well, which I really like, because so many people say that the soundtrack to them staying at their grandparents was the sound of the fridge at 3 a.m. So that's what we've got going in this space. I'll be honest with you, it doesn't necessarily, all of this, go with the 1940s inspired shtick that we've got going in this room. Although it's not strictly 40s, it's an eclectic mix of all eras, but even still, over here, we're seeing more retro, and that might not be aesthetically pleasing to many people. And I don't know if this will last out until next year, or whether I'll just have it as a little companion for autumn and winter. But I had to bring this home. This is a little piece of my grandparents. It's tied to them, and it had to have a home somewhere. So whether it lives out its days on top of this fridge, my secondhand Smeg fridge from my nan, I don't know. But right now, I really like it, and I think when I throw a VHS in there and have that playing whilst I cook, I think I'll really enjoy it. And this is the point of having a home. It doesn't matter what other people think. Even though I post my home online a lot, what's important is if me and Mum get enjoyment out of this. And if we do, well, she's here to stay. Who knows, my mum might come in and change the organisation of all of this, which wouldn't surprise me. I guess we'll have to wait and see. So you might have seen this in past videos, you know, in the background as I'm talking about other things. And you might have thought to yourself, what is in there? Well, I'll tell you. This is my grandparent cupboard. So a lot of things to do with my grandparents live in here. And one of the things is some of my grandpa's old VHS tapes, which is why I'm gonna be ransacking this cupboard to find a selection of VHSs that I'd like to play whilst I make a coffee and have a pain au chocolat. And so I'm bringing you with me to pick out some good uns. I think I'm gonna go for, well, I mean, it's gotta be Wallace and Gromit. I mean, that is a no-brainer. And then I think I'm gonna go for Brief Encounter, and then do a kind of comedy sandwich and end with Fawlty Towers. I am far too excited about this. Oh, the static. The first one we're going to try is Wallace and Gromit, 3 Cracking Adventures. Now, all of these seem to be rewinded? They seem to be at the start because my grandpa was very vigilant in rewinding his VHS tape. So we're just gonna pop it in and see what happens. I really hope it works. Why am I emotional? Why am I so emotional? Oh. Okay, pull yourself together. On to the next one. One of my mum's personal favourites. Let's try that one next. It's so tactile, I love it. And now onto one of my personal favourites. This was shown to me by my grandpa and my mum, and it's a really fantastic, far too short British sitcom called Fawlty Towers, starring John Cleese and Prunella Scales, and it's so good. It's honestly, it's like a comfort show for me. It's brilliant. concept that I've been really interested in recently is the soundtrack to your home and how important that is, but I never really hear anyone talk about it. The background hum to your everyday life can be a mood enhancer, an atmosphere generator, a memory maker, and similarly, it can worsen your experience in your home. And so popping on a record player or a VHS tape, or just having your favourite movie streaming in the background, or the favourite soundtrack from your movie, like for me, the Studio Ghibli universe, that can really make your home feel more like a home and kind of block out a lot of the outside noise, because let's face it, our home should rejuvenate us. And it doesn't have to be music, it could be wind chimes, it could be the kettle boiling, it could be birds chirping out the window. It just needs to be something that ensues a little bit of peace and also familiarity. There's a reason that nostalgia is such a powerful thing, and it's not just because of the memories that you see in your mind's eye, it's the sounds and the smells and the sensation of touch that you remember that all weave together to make it something that stays with you for pretty much all of your life. Just like the sound of your grandma's ticking clock or her very loud fridge at 3 o'clock in the morning.
There'll come a time in the future when I shan't mind about this anymore. When I can look back and say quite peacefully and cheerfully how silly I was. No, I don't want that time to come ever. I want to remember every minute.
Well, this is a feature of the television that I didn't expect. I can now watch films from the toilet, which I suppose is no different than scrolling on your phone. I appreciate that this won't be to everyone's taste, but I tell you, the level of comfort that this is giving me is off the Richter scale. And I also love that it gives me something to listen to and enjoy as I potter around the kitchen that isn't just popping on a podcast or scrolling through a bunch of YouTube videos before I found one that I actually want to watch, because I don't like to watch things that are, too controversial or debate fueled or angry. Sometimes I just want to relax with something that I'll enjoy. And by having a collection of VHS tapes, I know I'm going to enjoy every single one. And also the tangible hands-on nature of popping it in the cassette player, which I'm sure to many people, this must be ensuing the biggest eye roll, because it's like, really? You're looking at VHS like it's a real big novelty. It wasn't that long ago that we were using it. I get it. I do get it, believe me. But the world has changed, like exponentially, so that something as simple as this does bring me unbridled joy. And I'm not ashamed to say that. And I just think it's a really sweet addition to my kitchen. And it's made me realise that, you know what? Maybe some trends aren't too bad.
Yes, I know it's this way. I own the place.
Hello, 40 Towers. Oh, Andre, thank you for calling. It's marvellous. We're absolutely delighted with you. Really, Andre, he's